just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if it's sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right, this is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 280. Mike Seglia, Alex Mesowitz, and we are presented by Odyssey. That's right. Proud to be part of the network. Check us on out. You can find us on Apple, Spotify. Download and subscribe. And of course, we're on YouTube, where you can get the video version of this podcast. A lot of great content on YouTube, all of our interviews, all of our shorts that we put out there, and instant reaction to games you'll get on there. But there's no games right now, Alex. They're not. Well, coming back in camp. Camp is in like 10 days, a little
Knicks
less.
are in 35 days or 34 days when you're listening to this on opening day.
Yeah,
opening game. What do you call it? The
opening night,
game?
opening game.
Opening game. They need like a cool thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, NFL has kickoff.
No, they don't.
You know,
because the NBA will do something horribly dumb.
It'll be like, you know, the Gatorade opening day.
Yeah.
Day.
Alex, I'm on record on here on the Bad Weather Fans podcast, being into some of the NBA gimmicks, but I'm falling more out of love with it. Like the next iteration of what the NBA is going to try to do with the All-Star game.
Oh, the world.
Oh my God. Like a tournament of teams. Something.
I didn't even know that.
It's just too much. I mean, it's just over.
What are they doing? I missed that whole thing. I didn't care. I was like, okay, I don't care.
I have to find it. I'll have to pull it up. But I think it was essentially like a round robin tournament with three teams, and different than. And if I'm getting the exact details wrong, shame on me.
Just Google it.
The idea there is that it's no longer like I have this hat. This is the 1994 NBA All-Star Game hat.
Yeah.
In Utah. And like the All-Star then was awesome. I mean, you know, it was Jordan.
That's it.
I'm blanking on players in the 90s.
Those are the only
Jordan,
players.
Patrick Ewing was there, former Knick great.
Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen.
Pippen,
David
Malone,
Robinson,
Stockton, all the guys, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like they played and it was awesome. I mean, I don't know. It just sucks now. It's not even that I was a kid then, so it was great. Maybe kids like it more. If you're a kid, chime in. But man, what the fuck are we doing?
They play harder in these pickup games at random gyms with the one in 45th Street, whatever it's called, the Summit. You know, they play harder in those videos where you see them playing one-on-one or doing these things than they do in the All-Star game when people pay to go see them, because they're not paid for that game. So they're a bunch of, you know, it's pretty greedy, to be honest. You're getting paid $50-60 million a year. You can play one game on the house for, you know, or the NBA can give them some money for the All-Star game. You know what I mean? That would solve the whole problem. These players care about the in-season tournament because they're getting $500,000, you know, and they care for their fellow teammate that doesn't get paid a lot. Just, it's mind-boggling. Like Adam Silver is just a pushover. He's like one of the worst commissioners in sports, maybe history.
When Silver took over, the first thing he did was everything that was surrounding the Clippers,
right?
Donald Sterling,
which was a layup. That was a layup to ban him. That was not hard.
But you know, he did the right thing,
right?
And then over time, though, it just doesn't seem like. It just seems like every decision he makes hasn't helped. Now they're making a ton of revenue, and they're making a ton of money overseas, and they're doing really well. So it's not like I can't sit here and say they're not making money. But watching the games, I mean, they haven't been as good. Now, I granted, my team was so bad and just chucked up so many threes and just was so awful that it's coming from a place of what I watched. So I understand, take that with a grain of salt. Like for you, you're watching the Knicks, they're highly competitive. They're deep playoff run with some really exciting games. But like from what I saw night to night, I was like, this is awful.
But the problem is that what you watch is most of the NBA, and what I watched is a small part of the NBA. You know, there's definitely more teams that can compete for a championship on a year-to-year basis, but there's still like every season there's 4 to 5 teams that can win a championship. Like that's it. Maybe,
maybe
maybe even
more.
5. Maybe I don't know. Because like in the NFL, you have this perception, even if it's not true, that any team can go on a run and make some noise. In the NBA, you can't go on a run if you're the last seed in the playoffs. Like you just can't. Unless you're the Heat,
You
which is like a not a they weren't a real play-in team. You know what I mean? That's just
yeah.
it's just
You
strange.
can't go on that type of run, but I will say in the NFL it's more predictable who's going to win the title each year. It's
Yeah,
the same teams. Look at the
right.
NBA. We've had a different champion. You could go back how many years? It's a different team winning the championship each year in the NFL. It's like the same 5 teams
Yeah, Chiefs,
over
Patriots, Steelers.
over.
This. Yeah, no.
Now it's Eagles are now part of that rotation.
Uh-huh.
They're in there, so it's like the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bills if
Right.
they ever get over the hump. Like it's just the same stuff. I mean,
No, I get
also
it.
the Jets and Giants have been so bad for so
It's
long.
so hard to watch. It's so hard to get into. It's so hard to be excited. The Jets and Giants had the opposite week 1 and week 2. Jets
Mm-hmm.
had the exciting loss, team looks good, get confident in the team game 1, and then game 2 they just like
Mm-hmm.
look like the old Jets. Giants is the opposite. First game looked
Mm-hmm.
like the old Giants. Second game, like, whoa, we got something here, and then they lost anyway. So they're still both 0-2, but just a flip flop. And I don't know.
Well, you did say
Now,
last week. You said last
yeah,
week the Giants were horrible.
yeah. I mean, they
Uh,
looked horrible. Yeah. Now the Jets are horrible.
and
That's what happens.
so,
Yeah, every week.
but what matters will be what happens in week 3. I mean, like
Yeah,
that.
that'll be the whole season.
But they got to like if they got to take that momentum off
They're not beating
and
the
do well.
Chiefs. They're not beating the
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs
Yeah,
being 0-3 would be hard to
yeah.
imagine.
They're not beating the Chiefs. Yeah, no shot.
I mean,
Zero chance the Giants are beating the Chiefs. So you
you
think they're going
saying
to beat
that
the
from
Chiefs?
the NFL not allowing it to happen
The
standpoint or
script.
the
No,
talent standpoint?
just the talent. There's no way the Chiefs are going on 3 to the Giants. It's just not happening. It's just
But that
not.
means that's a lock that it is now.
It's just
Sealing it
not
up.
happening. I mean, unless there's an injury or something like that,
Right.
it's just not happening. And I know like old dynasties come to an end and things happen, and there's times where you're like, there's no way the Patriots are going to lose, like the Jets in 2010. You know what I mean? In New England, Tom Brady hasn't thrown an interception almost all season since the beginning of the year, and I mean, he went like 10 weeks without a pick, and all of a sudden, David Harris is running down the field the other way. Oh my God, the Jets are going to win this game, and I get it, but uh, I don't know. I just can't see it.
Giants have to do it. Change the whole complexion of the season. Change how you view the season.
Yeah,
If they're 1-2 off a win versus the Chiefs and it's at home and their first 2 road games, I mean, you feel very different about your year
you do, you do, you
because you got to
do.
do it.
I mean, the Jets are like with Tyrod Taylor starting now and Justin Fields out with the concussion. It's like, are we gonna get Ty God or are we gonna get Tyrod who's injured, or are we gonna get Jets are gonna win a game or just look like a competent offense? I don't know. I just feel like we're back to with the sorry to go back to go on to the Jets. We were just talking about the Giants, but like I feel like the Jets are just gonna go back to doing starting 4 quarterbacks, 5 quarterbacks this season. It's just the same old shit. That's what it feels like. Injury prone old quarterback coming in as a backup who's a better might be better than the starter as a pro quarterback, but then you got undrafted rookie Brady Cook who's behind him, who like I liked him in preseason, but it's preseason undrafted rookie. Like, I mean, what are we doing here? And then after that, you have Adrian Martinez who's on the practice squad. It's just, he stinks. It's just like, oh, this is not looking good.
It is wild seeing what Daniel Jones has done.
I know,
And I do think
that's just
man,
unbelievable.
he does have a great nickname
What
that
is it?
they've given him out there for the Colts.
What is it?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, that is
I
awesome.
kind of like it,
That is awesome. I didn't even
right?
think. Wow,
It's
that
not
that is
bad.
pretty clever. Yeah,
And for the Nick fans listening, the Colts play in Indianapolis,
and
in
yes, they
Indiana.
play in Indianapolis. Not Indiana, in Indianapolis, of
Yeah.
course. Across the street from Indiana Pacers, but in
Oh man,
Indianapolis. But anyway, so the Nets signed Kobe Buffkin.
they traded for him.
Traded for him. Sorry, they traded for Kobe Buffkin.
They traded nothing for Buffkin. He was the
15th
15th
pick.
pick in
Yeah,
2023.
yeah.
He hasn't played much with the Hawks, injury seasons. In the summer league, he averaged 19.5 points per game. Look at me doing my research.
Yeah. You knew all that, actually. You didn't.
I mean, I
You
didn't
didn't
really.
have
But
to say.
this is very reminiscent of what the Nets did years ago, early Sean Marks, where I'm not saying same players, but the same concept where let's bring in Spencer Dinwiddie, let's bring in Joe Harris, guys that haven't really had good starts. Now
Karis LeVert. Yeah,
they
like
were
that. Yeah.
Karis LeVert, a little different, but that was through it. They traded him and then they
Who
traded
was the
for
other
the
guy they
rights to
had?
pick him. They
Dude from the
never
Hawks. They traded Dermar. It was not Dermar
no
Johnson.
no
Was it Dermar?
no
Who's the guy they had also? They
they
traded for.
they traded I think it was Bogdanovich or I don't remember now. But the point is he his first team he played for was on the Nets. He was
Right.
never on another team first.
Oh, okay.
Nets
Got
drafted
it.
him. They traded an asset at the deadline, got a pick, and then that pick became LeVert. Now, I
Got it.
think it was Bogey. I think that's what it was to Washington, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, but I could be mixing it up with how they got the Jared Allen pick, which was
Who's the
very
guy I'm
similar.
thinking of though? It's not Dermar Johnson. That's a former
Damari
Nick.
Carroll,
Yes, Damari Carroll.
he was
Thank
just
you. That's
he
it.
was a free agent, I think,
Was
from the
he?
Hawks.
Didn't they like trade for him or something? They took the
Maybe
cap
I don't
space.
I don't
I don't know.
remember
Whatever.
now,
I just remember he
but
was a fantasy demon back in the day on the Hawks. Like he was awesome at fantasy. But anyway,
but it's the same
yeah,
concept of what they're doing. Like, okay, here's a guy's 15th pick. The Hawks now are in a little more for a go for it mode. So they
right.
want to shed themselves of young guys that aren't going to get on the court and use
Mhm.
that roster flexibility. And then for the Nets, they pick up a guy and just see what you have, right? Like 15th pick a couple of years ago. How does he perform? He didn't never really had a true shot there, or he
Mhm.
never really played in Atlanta. So it's not even like he was a bust. You just don't know yet. I mean, that's sort of the avenue they're going. And they have another guard on their roster. And you just hope you catch lightning in a bottle and he's good. He went to Michigan, played
Mhm.
there for 2 years, was under Juwan Howard, who's now an assistant coach with the Nets. And you just hope that you have something. I can't promise I can't be on here and be like, I love this move. This is a guy that's getting a second chance. The analytics say if he gets this many more shots, I don't know.
Nobody
But
knows.
it's just another lottery ticket. I mean, I think he's turns 22 on Saturday or 21 on Saturday. So, I mean, he's half my age. I mean, like, so we'll see, right?
So he could
We'll
be his
see.
dad. So
I could.
think about it for 10 seconds. I'm going to give you 1 minute on the clock. Sell me on the Nets making the playoffs.
No, they're
No,
not.
just give it to me.
They're
Like if you had to
horrible.
sell, if you were a lawyer
No,
in law school and you had to argue a point, sell me on it. Do 1 minute.
they're,
Ready?
they're, they're no, I can't. I can't. They're going to be awful.
How about a
All
play-in
right.
team? Can you give me like 1 minute on why there would be a play-in team? Ready?
Yeah,
Go.
can you give me 1 second to get something?
1 second.
Give me 10 seconds to get something.
10 seconds. 10,
Yeah, do you know what 10 seconds means?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, want me to go?
Yeah. Go.
All right. So the Nets will make them. Yeah, the Nets will be a play-in team, and I'll explain to you why. And sometimes it has less to do about the Nets and more about the Eastern Conference as a whole. Right now, there's two teams in the Eastern Conference that are locked to make the playoffs that are the top. That's the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Knicks. After that, you got the Orlando Magic, the third tier. Pacers took a step back. Pistons might have taken a step back with everything that's gone on their side. The Celtics definitely have. So the point is, the Eastern Conference is just so weak. And so it's less about the Nets and it's more about just how bad the East is, right? You got the Hornets, Raptors, Wizards, Sixers you can't trust. The Bucks, to make the play on, you're basically saying you got to beat some of these shittier teams. So it's not the fact that the Nets are any good. It's just that the rest of the Eastern Conference is pretty bad. Now, I could tell you about Cam Thomas taking a step forward and being aggressive. And then maybe you get something lucky with some of these 702 first round draft picks that the Nets had. If one of them's good, then you have a chance. But realistically, Alex, that was a load of bullshit.
I was laughing because I thought you were reading off ChatGPT. I thought you got a quick ChatGPT question in. And
No.
I thought that's what you're
Is
doing.
that what you thought I was doing
It,
here? I'll share my
it
screen.
looked like you're reading off of ChatGPT.
This is what I pulled up. I just needed to see the other teams.
I can't see anything. Oh, you just pulled up the standings. Yeah, I get it.
I just wanted to see the teams so I could say them out loud.
Mhm.
But no, I didn't know. You want me to ask chat? I could ask chat.
Yeah. Sell me on the Nets making the playoffs.
I need more information. Is this a G League team? Is this the team that has 7 fans?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
God, one of those pissed me. That's something got on my nerves.
Yeah. No, you know what? The Nets, I think they'll be okay. This is how I can sell it for the Nets trying to sell tickets to their fans. You have all these draft picks that are coming in this year. You have, Cam Thomas, who's on a prove it year. You have Michael Porter Jr., who's going to be the man for the first time in his career. You have all of these players. Nick Claxton's going to bounce back. You have all these guys who are ready to prove it and ready to play hard, and they have a great young coach who gets the best out of his talent. And the bottom of the Eastern Conference is pretty weak, and you never know they can get into that play-in tournament. And then once you're in the tournament, you never know what could happen.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a ChatGPT 5 account. I pay for ChatGPT. Like I use
You
it.
do.
I use it a lot. For what I do. So
This
I am
isn't Mike
not.
right now. This is actually ChatGPT talking. This isn't Mike.
Hold on. I'm getting to where I'm going here. Come aboard. Storytelling time with Mike.
Yes.
Now, I am not on the computer that I use for work. So I'm not logged into my ChatGPT, which has been trained and I trust. I just went to chatgpt.com and typed in a question and it gave me an answer. Would you like me to tell you the question and answer? I will tell
Yes.
you.
Go for
I
it.
said, "Can you pitch me to why the Brooklyn Nets could make the playoffs?" Absolutely. Here's a compelling pitch for why the Brooklyn Nets can make the playoffs in the upcoming season. You ready?
Yes.
Despite flying under the radar, the Brooklyn Nets have all the pieces to make a legitimate push for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Here's why. Number one, Mikal Bridges is ready to break out. After being traded to Brooklyn, Mikal averaged over 26 points per game post All Star in 2022 2023 and showed he can carry a heavier offensive load. His two-way impact, elite perimeter defense, plus efficient scoring make him a franchise cornerstone and possible All Star caliber leader. Number two, elite wing depth. The Nets have one of the deepest wing rotations in the league. Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, Lonnie Walker the fourth. Ben
Very nice.
Simmons, yes, seriously. All reports suggest Ben Simmons is finally healthy in training without restrictions.
Is this
If he is,
ChatGPT from 3 years ago? Like
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand. Eh,
If he even returns to 80% of his all NBA form, the Nets suddenly have an elite passer, rebounder, and versatile defender who can push the pace and take pressure off Bridges.
This
Four,
sounds like
underrated young
Brooklyn
talent.
Netcast wrote this on
Oh
Twitter.
my God. I mean, I won't even keep going, but
No,
I
don't,
mean,
don't. But
what in
I
the
was gonna laugh
world?
because maybe the Nets are gonna. ChatGPT is telling you that the Nets are gonna trade back for Mikal Bridges and reverse the trade. But I don't know.
And now I'm
I
talking
think
to it.
the Nets will be all right. I think they'll be okay.
Stop it.
I don't think they're gonna be that bad, but I think they'll be bad. But anyway,
Sorry,
Knicks
now I'm
signed.
fighting with ChatGPT. I told him you have a lot of the wrong team. Most of these players are gone. See what
And
it
now
says.
it's chat. Go fuck yourself. Right. That's what it is.
You use ChatGPT?
I do sometimes. Sometimes if I need to think of if I write like a sentence at work or something and I need to like
Bunch
shorten
it
it.
up.
I know it's too verbose. I'll say make this shorter. That's all. Like something like that. That's what I'll do.
Yeah. No.
But
You know how to use it. It's a good tool.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I like using my brain, but it's good too. But sorry, I'm not trying to belittle you for using
That's fine.
ChatGPT. It's like
I don't think. I think that it's still using your brain. It's just being more efficient to get work done that you need to do.
oh yeah,
Now,
for
you don't,
sure.
for what I need, but it's also like, and I won't go into the detail of it, but for what I need to do,
Yeah,
it makes me so efficient to get stuff done.
it saves time for sure. It's a time saver. But you know
Like
what wasn't a time saver,
I'm
Mike?
producing show notes for podcasts.
Yeah,
Having the
I
ability
get
to
it.
use ChatGPT to create them for me faster saves me so much time, and they're better. So yeah, I'm not using my brain, but I've created better work, and I've been more efficient. So I have a better argument about this than the Nets.
You do. You do. I was just waiting. We
Because I
keep,
actually believe what I'm saying, which makes a difference.
yeah. Do you want to keep talking about
I
ChatGPT?
should
We could
probably
just do a
talk
whole
to the
episode.
microphone too. What's that?
You want to keep talking about ChatGPT? We could just keep like
I
a
could do an
ChatGPT
hour on
episode.
ChatGPT. I seriously could.
I was gonna say that the Knicks they decided to jump in and sign every player in the NBA to a non-guaranteed contract. Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10. I didn't even know there was an Exhibit 9 contract, but now I learn something new every day. I don't know what it means. All I know is that you're getting a training camp invite, and if you get hurt, you only get $15,000. You don't have to get guaranteed a contract or anything like that. And I know they signed and then waived like Dink Paint and like another guy, and so they can go to Westchester. They have Malcolm Brogdon, Landry Shamet, Alex Len, who's a good veteran. Well, good, but he's a veteran, been around the block, a big man. You never know. Um, Knicks do need some size around. Maybe he'll end up in Westchester also. Who knows? But just
Brogdon play
because
anymore, or is he cooked?
who?
Can Malcolm Brogdon play anymore, or is he
He was
cooked?
in Washington. Coincidentally, I have two friends that I just moved to, into a new neighborhood and made some friends playing basketball. If you listen to this podcast, they're two guys in the group of guys that I'm friends with now. They're Wizards fans, which is the most bizarre thing ever.
I know
One
a
for
Wizard
their
fan.
like, but two in one neighborhood and one friend group is bizarre for Long Island. And I asked them, I was like, hey, so what's up with Malcolm Brogdon? Can I expect anything? And they're like, I wouldn't. They think he's been injured, but he also was stuck on the Wizards. Maybe he just wasn't motivated. It was just like, forget this. You know what I mean? I'm not going to push myself for a team that I'm not going to be on, and I'm not going to waste my time. So, nobody knows. Maybe he'll be, have a resurrection with the Knicks. But for a guy like that, of that stature, to sign a non-guaranteed deal with the Knicks because they're contenders is exciting in general, because it shows the Knicks are really contenders. Because Malcolm Brogdon's not taking an Exhibit 9 or 10 deal with the Wizards or the Hornets. You know what I'm saying? So that's exciting and that's fun. It's cool to reflect as a Knicks fan, just that point in general, that they're at that level where the buyout market, they can sign a guy like Kenyon Martin, like they did in
It
2012.
reminds me of the Nets with LaMarcus Aldridge. Not
Yeah,
that it's the
exactly.
same,
Same idea. You're just
different,
gonna
different players, and
Blake
Aldridge going
Griffin,
through a
guys
lot.
like yeah, you can get guys at the end of their careers who just want to show up and try to ring chase, or just can give you good minutes, and they're professionals, and they're not gonna. They might not be the player they once were, but they still have the brain of a guy at the end of the bench that could do, important things. And like guys like Blake Griffin had big moments with the Nets in the playoffs and big dunks, and
He
LaMarcus
did.
Aldridge had some big moments before he retired, and there's things that, and Kenyon Martin for the Knicks, like when he was on, he jumped in as a a mid-season buyout market guy, like helped out. J.R. Smith, same thing. Well, it wasn't a buyout, it was in China, different story, but same idea. So it's exciting to be in that situation. And, a lot of these guys they signed over the last week are probably not going to be on the team, and they're probably going to have no impact on whether the Knicks win a championship or not. But I think the real rundown, real, not rundown, the real good thing about all these guys signing, or just having camp invites, like Dennis Smith Jr., an old friend, is back in the Knicks for training camp, is that Mike Brown's trying to create competition and keep guys on their heels, and because everybody can be complacent, like we have a new coach, the old hard ass isn't here anymore, let's we can cruise through the regular season, and he's trying to bring guys in that are professional basketball players like Alex Len and guys like that, who can give you minutes if you really needed them to, and push the guys, the starters, like the reserves that Knicks have now are a lot, not besides like Ubaselli and those guys. I'm talking about just like the third string guys like Landry Shamet, Malcolm Brogdon, Alex Len, Dennis Smith Jr. you know, these are even Diawara showed a little something in the summer league. As a second round pick. I mean summer league, but whatever. These guys, hopefully, you're trying to create like a competitive camp, and that competition breeds success, Mike.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully they just get upset by the Magic in that second round. I mean, boy, that'll be a fun show.
Oh my
Looking forward to that
goodness.
episode.
Oh
That'll
my
be,
goodness.
let's see, what episode will the Knicks lose to Orlando in the playoffs? So if we're at
What are we
280
at
right
now?
now, that will
280.
be in what, like 30 something weeks, I guess,
So
ish,
280 plus 52 is what?
a year. So that's
No, 280 plus
ask
50. Yeah.
ChatGPT 332.
332. Okay.
But
And
that's in a
minus
year.
like 15.
Yeah, so
How
it's
about
like
that?
330-ish,
Yeah.
335-ish, or
Right.
320, 315, 320-ish.
Right. Right. Because it's 8 weeks of summer, and then we're halfway
Yeah.
through September. And so
I was just gonna say the headline now. Do you still think Brunson is better than Bancaro? Would
Jalen
you really?
Brunson. is not better than Jason Kidd, even though Mikey Coin Snatch said he was. No.
Oh boy, that was a bad take. That was rough.
That's
That
my
was
guy.
bad. That
But
was bad.
anyway, I think a fun little game we can play is what is your outside the box but like realistic take that can happen between the Knicks and the Nets players, like awards, like what's the thing that seems crazy now but that actually could happen.
I do think that the
One
Nets
Knicks, one
and
Nets.
Knicks this
Yeah.
year are going to start hating each other a little bit more
So you think
because I
some
think that
contention within the locker room?
no, I think the rivalry will be better this year than it's been in a bit.
Oh, Knicks and Nets. I thought you meant like
Mhm.
Knicks versus Knicks in the locker room.
No,
Okay.
Knicks versus Nets. I think
Okay.
because the Nets have a lot of young, feisty guys that want to prove themselves. I don't think they're going to give two shits
So
who the
that's your
Knicks are.
Nets
It's not.
take,
It's not
right?
like before where you know. uh, I think there's going to be a little more feistiness with it, and there was a little bit with Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith when I think he clotheslined Ananobi. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah, that was fun.
That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah. And you're like, it wasn't a foul. Like, what are you talking about? I was
He
like, he
ran into
deserved
his
it.
arm,
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure, sure. His face
but
shouldn't have been there. Yes.
and
And
I
your
think
Knicks take.
Mikel went
Outside.
to. Oh, but he was on the Knicks then, so he couldn't. Never mind. I think there's just gonna be more feistiness between the two teams.
What do you think the Knicks? What's your outside the box Knicks take that could happen? A
Mikel
realistic, or you
Bridges is
want me to
gonna play a lot better.
outside the box? Outside the
I think he's
box is
going to be a little
yeah.
bit more. I think he's going to be more comfortable in his role. I think that now that in his second year with the Knicks, I think you'll get a better, more consistent. I won't say better. I'll say more consistent. I don't think you're going to see. I think you've seen the best of what he can bring. So I wouldn't say better. I'll say more consistent play.
Okay. My outside the box Nets
I guess
take.
that's not really outside the box.
No, but he might not be better, and somebody might think that is. Anyway, my outside the box thing is that either Cam Thomas or Michael Porter Jr. will be all stars or borderline all stars. One of them, not
Oh,
both.
man, you're too nice.
One
They
of them will
suck,
be.
dude. Come on. This team's not good. They're
I'm just
trying to
saying.
lose.
I'm just saying.
There's more excitement as a net fan because it's
They might not.
young players that are their own, but
No, I'm just
they,
kidding.
well,
Yeah.
you froze. Say it again. You froze.
So they might not be all stars for the Nets. Get
That's
traded.
true.
I'm kidding. No, I think that could happen. A borderline. Let's say borderline. That's as far as I'll take it. A borderline all star in the conversation.
I think
Outside.
Josh Hart's gonna learn how to shoot. That's my take. I think he's going to practice. I think the roommates podcast. Did they do their
Outdoor thing. Yeah.
Did that happen?
It did.
Anything interesting from there?
I don't know. I didn't watch. I know Jordan Clarkson was there. Ben Stiller, of course. I don't know who else was there.
Can I say this about Ben Stiller? So I work remotely, and a lot of the times I'll go to Bellworks, which is where Severance is filmed, and I always wear my Nets hat. And part of me is like, when I walk, there's like a certain area I like to work. It's really weird too because they have lumen props hanging. It's like bizarre. I keep trying to take a picture, and I haven't been able to, but I keep fantasizing that I'm going to walk across Ben and see Ben Stiller, and I'm going to give him a piece of my mind about the Knicks. And I keep in my head playing this over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
what if he actually is here randomly? Just
Yeah,
walking
but you
in
know what's going to
Bellworks?
happen if you do see him? You're just going to give him a pound or something. a
No,
little fist
no,
bump,
I would
like, Yo,
not.
what up, man?
No.
Yeah. Great show.
I would
Yeah.
show. I would say I'm a Nets fan.
Great show.
And
Love the show, but I'm a Nets fan. Fuck the Nets.
Yeah, and I would just say I just really don't like your attitude on Twitter, and you need to cool it.
Yeah. So anyway, my outside the box Knicks take will be that. I don't know which one I should go with. I think Jalen Brunson will be the MVP of the NBA.
Okay, that's a homer take, but
It's not
sure.
homer. It's outside the box,
Uh,
but it's
okay.
possible. He was in the top whatever 5.
It's not
you know?
possible. It's not good enough.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I guess you're right. We will see.
He's one of the best players in the NBA. He was starting point guard in the All-Star game. How is it so blasphemous to say he could win the MVP?
Just not talented enough.
Not talented
point,
enough.
not
I think
tall
you're just
enough.
a hater. I think you're just a hater.
Um, Typically, you have to have superstar ability.
Oh, so now Jalen Brunson's not a superstar.
He's fine.
Okay. RJ Barrett's a
He's
superstar.
crafty.
Oh, he's a star. All right.
RJ Barrett, man. Knicks have a good team though. I'll
They
give you
do.
that.
They do.
No, they do. I mean, I'm being a little silly, but I mean, he
Yeah.
could. It's definitely a thing. I don't think he will, but definitely think it's possible.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right.
You know what the Knicks had last year? They had really good health.
They did.
They had really good health. Towns, for the most part, was really healthy. Brunson missed the stretch in the later part of the season. Anunoby had one little stint where he was hurt, but it ended up not being that bad. Like for the most part, and then in the playoffs, of course, Mitchell Robinson came back and had his impact. But they had really, really good health. Which is funny though, because the man in charge that helped with that good health is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think starting lineup for the Knicks is next year? You think they go back to Hart or you think they start Mitch?
That's a good question. Um, I'm trying to think like what Mike Brown's history was with playing centers. I guess was Drunas Ilgauskas there. I want to say they start Hart for some. I think, and you saw this a little bit at the playoffs. Like for as good as Mitch was, they got a little bit exposed when those two guys were on the court together.
Mhm.
Didn't it gave some problems?
So you can't have them off the bench in the same unit, Hart and Mitch.
I think I think that gives
That's a good point.
problems.
That's
I
a good
think
point.
because you lose scoring,
So now your bench is
or you lose. Yeah, you
Jordan
lose scoring.
Clarkson, Deuce McBride, and Josh Hart in one lineup. That's pretty good. And then Ubaselli.
No, it's a
And
very good second unit.
I mean, Huck Porty, I guess, is the backup center, but I guess you don't have to go to a backup center. You can just like kind of rotate around with Mitch and Towns and, you know, keep guys fresh that way.
It is weird the Knicks don't really have a true two guard. I guess
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson, but there's no like true
He's like more of a
two.
point, honestly, So
For an
yeah.
NBA that's all about guys that can shoot and create for themselves, outside of Brunson, the Knicks don't have anybody that can
Landry
do that.
Shamet. I mean, that's or
He
Malcolm
can't
Brogdon.
create for himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you mean. I know. It's definitely their hole.
Towns a little bit, I guess, on the perimeter can do it, but
Well, Towns is
I
just a
don't know.
spot up 3-point shooter. He's not like an off the dribble 3-point shooter,
Man. Towns second year. I think the Knicks made the right decision not going crazy. I think their best course of action is just ride the tide and fingers crossed that things work out. I don't think there's really I don't really know how else you upgrade that roster.
You can't with the amount of money that they're all getting paid, and Mitch being healthy definitely helps from the beginning. And Mike Brown saying or not saying, or everybody's assuming because nobody knows that he's going to play the bench more and rotate and at least take guys out when you're up 25 with 3 minutes left. Like, can you do that? Can you rest guys in that regard? Can you play your guys not 39 minutes, 40 minutes, but like 34, 35? Like, don't rest guys. I don't want the rest days and that kind of BS. But you don't have to play the guys 42 minutes when you're up 40 points. Just it's okay.
I mean, there's no reason to tax guys during the regular season, especially a team that's going for it. They got to play hard. They're going to play minutes, but when
I hope the Knicks
you're
start
26 and
really fast. Yeah.
You're 26 and 12, 26 and 13, whatever.
Right.
And it's game 50 and you're playing the Hornets, or let's say the Hornets. You're playing the Kings and you're down 11 in the fourth with 6 minutes left. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
well,
do you
remember
remember
down 11 with 6 minutes, you can still win the game. But I get your point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bad example, but I get your point. Like 11 points with 6 minutes left is like
a bad
2-point
example.
game.
You understood, then it's a good example.
No, but I get what you're trying to say. Example. Because 11 points with 6 minutes left, like a Knicks team can come back on a bad team.
I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, you don't remember any of these games.
No. You remember when somebody gets hurt. You remember a fight. You remember an elbow. You remember a big play. You remember big moments. You do.
I remember the Nets beating the Rockets down 7 with 11 seconds left and coming back, which was crazy. It's like the craziest no one ever saw.
Yeah. Anyway, but I just hope the Knicks start off fast and they start off like 15-5 or not even like 15-3 and something like that, and like
Ugh.
then they could just cruise for the rest of the season and not have no anxiety. If they start off like 7-6, and then it's gonna be like all anxiety and like gonna go on a big run, and everybody's gonna be all negative, and you know what I'm saying? Like
I like when the Knicks Twitter is negative.
I just want to
Guys
like
just start fighting with each
I
other.
want to
It's
start
really
off
fun.
like 7-0, like just like in
Nah,
like cruise, you know. But they
nah,
did start
no.
off 5-0 in the year the Knicks sucked with Tibbs in year two. Remember they started off
Yeah.
5-0. We're like, we're going to the finals.
Yeah. It's
48,
typically the
Bing
fans are
bong.
just
Yeah,
wrong. Oh, that was the Bing Bong year.
yeah, that
From Bing
was
Bong to Ping Pong.
that was
Coin
Mike
that.
Mike Biseglia. Yes.
Coin that. Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm also just done, Alex, with all the Nick fans saying there's only like 13 net fans. I
well, there's
think
really
I'd
like
rather be
a lot
one
more
of
than that.
13 met. The nice thing though is like when you're such a small community of fans that you're more recognizable and a star. Like with the Nick fan base, there's so many of you, you're just kind of lost in the sea of nothingness. Like you're not as important because there's so many of you. But when it's a
Yeah.
smaller group, you have
Mhm.
a little more value as a fan.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You're more of a smaller family. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And, oh,
Yeah.
last thing I'll say, and then we'll go. That I was walking my son. He goes to kindergarten, and I picked him up. And we walked back, and he was like a little too jumpy around the road. So I'm a dad and 5-year-old. I gotta be like, pull him back. I can't do that.
Yeah,
Like
firm.
really, like I
Yeah.
ripped it. I ripped into him.
Uh-huh.
And he got upset, just a little kid, and he got so mad at me. And he looked at me and he said, "Dad, you're a Nick fan." He knew how to piss me off.
Oh my God. And what'd you do? Throw him into traffic?
I laughed. I just laughed. I was like, "Wow." I was like, "You knew how to like needle me." I was like, "That's impressive." Thought
That's
you'd like
funny.
that.
Oh, can I tell you about my day actually before we get in?
Yeah, please.
I'm walking on to get some food at lunch, like midday, and I'm looking at my phone, of course, as I'm walking, and I hear a crunch, and I look up and I see an SUV driving into a
Oh
truck, like
God.
an 18 wheeler, like under a truck, like it just kept going, like under it was like 2 miles an hour, so it wasn't like nobody got hurt, but it was just like what? I'm like, oh,
It
and
went
like all
under
of a
like a
sudden just kept going
bridge,
crunch. What?
like under a bridge.
No, it was like there were just the truck was making a right and the SUV was making a left into one lane, and I don't think the SUV saw the truck.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know,
Oh,
but
yes,
they were
I got
going so slow that there was no injuries, but it was just like, why, what are you doing? Did you just like not
scary.
look? But I was across the street. It's a very busy road, and I was just like looking at everybody, people running out of the cars, and they pulled the woman out of the car, and she was fine.
That's
And
good.
I was the good Samaritan. I called 911 and got the cops to come, and
Wow.
ambulance.
You were the 911 caller.
I was, and it was just. I'm not going to be the guy who's darting across the street to try to save someone from a car, especially when it's a busy road, but because I'm not equipped, I don't know CPR. I'm not going to be able to bandage someone up and shit, like, if she's hurt. But I know I have a phone in my hand that's already open. I can call 911 and get the cops here
But
faster,
everybody was okay. That's
Everybody was
good.
fine. They were going like I said, like 2 miles an hour. But it was just like I
Oh,
really think the SUV just took their eyes off the road. I missed the beginning of it. I just saw like the truck was like hanging to the side and the SUV was
oof,
like tucked underneath the car. It was
oof.
underneath the truck. It was bizarre. But anyway,
You
that was
reminded
my
me of
excitement.
a story, and I'm going to tell it real fast, even if
Keep
you're
telling
yawning.
stories
I
now.
don't care.
Yeah.
I used to work in Charlottesville, Virginia, and there, like when you work at the radio station in Charlottesville, it's like Market 185. You do everything. And back
Uh-huh.
then, we would do remote broadcasts, and we had these giant trucks, and they would have antennas that would just go up 30, 40 feet in the sky. Think about like a TV newscast where you see somebody reporting. That's how
Hmm.
you would go with the radio. You go out to the remote place where you're going to broadcast, and that antenna would signal back to the radio station. Technology's obviously gotten a lot better. You and I are on a video call right now, but I'm
Yes.
driving this truck and I have to go to the location, and I'm not really used to driving big trucks, and I don't like think like that. So I'm
Uh-huh.
driving and I'm approaching this bridge, and all of a sudden I get under the bridge, and the top of the truck peels off. And these trucks are built so that if you crash, the top, like think of like if you're opening a can of
Yeah, yeah.
tuna fish, it just pops
Right.
open, and the whole top half of the truck piled open and and flew open. I got out of the car. Somebody took it, has like on the radio station, WINA, news radio. Somebody looks at me and goes, "That sucks," takes a photo of me and leaves. It was one of the worst moments I ever had. It was so fun. And I had to go back to work. I'm like, I just crashed the truck. I have a story for off air that I'll tell after what happened, but
Got it. Good
yeah,
story.
yeah.
That's funny.
I have another one of these too, but I could save it. Tired.
Yeah, let's save it another time. That's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right. This was a weird episode.
it was Jalen Brunson MVP. There you go.
Cam Thomas, All-Star. All right, see you.
Yes.